How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself, and today I want to talk to you guys about Deviant monsters, Redhelm to be specific. New to Monster Hunter are the Deviant monsters. Similar to subspecies in that they are different takes on already existing monsters, but exhibit characteristics that make them stand out. What sets Deviant monsters apart from subspecies is that they are just an evolved form of a particular monster. Think Pokemon for a second, right? When a Pokemon gets enough experience, they evolve and move on to the next stage. Deviants are like that. Deviants are monsters that were once hunted by hunters but survived the encounter. Now, they kind of earned enough experience, if you will, to level up and evolve. Now, I know it's kind of weird to think of it like that, to think Pokemon and Monster Hunter and like evolving and leveling up, but that's how I was able to come up with the understanding of how Deviants actually work. Anyway, today we take on the Redhelm Arzuros. In order to fight the Redhelm Arzuros, you must first complete the village request, the Ingredient of Legend. It's an HR1 quest given to you by the itinerant cook who can be found in Poke Village. Once you finish the quest, you'll be allowed to fight the Redhelm Arzuros using special permit tickets. You can purchase these tickets from your housekeeper. You just gotta go to her or the cat and just go to the trader menu and you guys should see it like right there. Now, when fighting Redhelm, there are certain things you'll notice right away that differ from the standard Arzuros. Redhelm is noticeably bigger. I mean, guys, he's huge, okay? Like, you'll look at Redhelm and be like, man, he could definitely be at bare minimum a silver crown, if not a gold crown Arzuros, like straight up, guys. He also has red fur that accents his body, as opposed to the Arzuros' white hair that would accent his body naturally. Also, his forearms and his claws are both red and quite armored. It's gonna take, if you're fighting this guy right off the rip, like if you're like low rank and you're trying to, get you some Deviant armor, odds are you're probably going to bounce off of his arms, so you're going to want to stick to his hind legs, or if you have Mind's Eye, you can do that as well, because I believe it takes white to straight up penetrate his arms. It's like that armored. His moveset is also a bit different from his counterpart. Quite a bit of his old moves come back, but they're modified a bit. Much like Legambi, when you're behind Arzuros, he may try to back his butt up and hit you, and that's a thing, but for Redhelm, he actually has the same move, but it's modified a little bit. When he backs his butt up and he drops it finally, there's a tremor afterwards. So he'll back it up and then he'll hit you or whatever. If he doesn't hit you, that's fine, but there's a tremor when he drops his butt down. Another move that's similar to this is that he has the ability to leap way high in the air and drop his butt down. When he drops his butt down, there's going to be a tremor. Now, when he's enraged, he can do the same move, but for a greater distance, he may leap to drop his butt down. Now, it's a really cool thing to see once you see it up in the air, or you see a Redhelm Arzuros in the air, flying through the sky like a bird, like a plane. Not really. Redhelm dropping his butt down. It's pretty cool, actually, but it hurts a lot. But speaking of things that hurt a lot and is quite devastating, we all know that the Legambi, Arzuros, and Volvodon all have this sweeping attack, well, claw sweeping attack, if you will, where they would sweep their claw once, twice, 3 times. Well, the Redhelm Arzuros has the same exact move, but the Redhelm Arzuros can actually do this up to 5 times. He can swipe his claws up to 5 times, and any time in between those 5 times, he can cancel his claw swiping attack into a pincer-like attack similar to that of the Hermitar to actually catch your opponents off guard. All of these attacks actually have wind pressure on them. I mean, it's kind of nuts, but that's not even it. He has a 360 claw sweeping attack. Now, it sounds kind of weird, but just imagine he just sticks his hand out and he spins in a circle really quick, hitting anyone within a 360-degree radius. Now, it's a really useful attack because most of the time Arzuros has a 180-degree spinning attack, if you will. So if you're right behind him, he'll wind up from the front and then turn around, he'll hit you. But if you rotate yourself 90 degrees to his right, you'll be free from actually getting hit with it. That's not the case with Redhelm. He has a 360 one. One other claw attack that he has actually really powerful that you guys should really watch out for is that he looks like he's going to do his swiping attacks, but he'll charge up just the one claw and he'll wind it way back. Now there's a lot of time in between this. You can see him doing this from a mile away. You do not want to get hit with this attack. It's very, very powerful. If you get hit with it, odds are you're gonna lose half your health straight up. Real talk, guys. Now, the last thing you'll probably notice about the Redhelm Arzuros right off the rip is that he actually has a roar, and you're going to need earplugs to block it. Now, the roar isn't very, very big. The roar length is very reminiscent of the Sergios, where he'll roar and then you're almost immediately almost out of it, but the range on it is about average for its size. More than that of a Narakuga, but maybe less than that of a Raytheon. Now that we talked a little bit about the monster, let's move over to some of the weaknesses that this guy has. Now, Redhelm Arzuros is very similar to standard Arzuros, whom of which shares the fire weakness, but this time you probably don't want to go with that. Okay, now like I said a little bit earlier before, Redhelm Arzuros has these armored claws, right? His forearms are armored, and the upper part of his body is kind of armored as well. So that's cool and everything, but fire only really affects those parts of his body. Thing is, you're probably going to bounce off these parts of his body, due in part that you actually need to have a higher sharpness or mines that actually truly, continue combos when hitting them. So even though ice is a secondary weakness for the most part, I would recommend you actually use ice to fight him, because the hit zones you're going to be hitting more often than not is his butt, his hind legs, his stomach if you can, and those areas actually take more damage to ice than that of fire. I mean, considerably so. Now before I get to talking about the Redhelm Arzuros' gear, I want to talk about Deviant gear as a whole. Now, Deviant gear is very different from standard gear in part that they actually don't have any slots. Guys, like straight up, there are no slots on any piece of Deviant gear across all the boards. There are no weapons with any slots. There are no armor pieces with any slots. Now, they having no slots actually, still benefit you, because they all initially start with 2 skills, with the 3rd soul skill gemmed in for later. Well, not gemmed in, but like, you can actually unlock later. You unlock your soul skill by actually leveling up your deviant armor to level 6. Now you level up your deviant armor by actually fighting deviant monsters from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then eventually 6, and upgrading your armor with those level tickets that I will talk about in a little bit. Now this 3rd skill is actually a combination of skills. It's actually 2 skills that technically the game developers chose at random, so to speak, and then combined them into one. And the name of the skill has the same name of the monster you're actually fighting. So for instance, we're fighting Redhelm. Redhelm's soul skill is actually focus and resentment, and the skill name is just called Redhelm. Now a little while ago I mentioned leveling up your deviant gear, because deviant monsters have special quests that number from 1 to 10 with varying challenges in each. Once you complete a level, you unlock the next level, and so on. After each quest, however, you're given a ticket rewarded to you based on the level of quest you just did. So for example, if you did a level 3 Redhelm Arzuros quest, you're going to be rewarded with the level 3 Redhelm Arzuros ticket. Now however, once you get further up in the ranks, gets around like level 7 through 9, you'll be rewarded with your level 7 or 9 Arzuros ticket, but you'll also be given a lower rank ticket like a level 1 to like 4. With that out the way, Redhelm's armor is pretty decent. It starts off by giving defense small and constitution +2 right off the rip. Like I said, its 3rd skill, its soul skill, is focus and resentment combined into one, and is known as just Redhelm. His weapons are a bit bland but do work well. They don't have an element, but the raw attack is pretty nice, and the really decent sharpness that it has make them pretty useful if you don't mind not having an element. Now they do for the most part have +10 affinity across all his weapons. He has a switch axe, a bow, hunting horn, light bow gun, long sword, and dual blades. With that being said, everyone, it's been your boy Dak908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and if you guys liked the video, please let me know in the comment section. If you have any criticisms, again, let me know. But that's all I have for you guys in terms of Redhelm Arzuros today. If you guys liked the video, I mean, you could say that you did, or show it to like your friends and whatnot, share the video. Take care, guys.